So, okay, as promised, here is a video with a few different releases that you can use in order to acknowledge your feelings and thereby move them out of your body. Because here's the thing, our bodies are these extraordinary vessels, and we will hold on to feelings in the tissue, in the fascia of our bodies, and even pass it on to our descendants unless we move stuff out. And in order to move it out, we have to acknowledge that it's there. So there is no moving out anger if we don't say, I'm angry. And there is no moving out sadness or grief if we don't say, I'm really sad. So we need to be able to do that. So there are just so many ways that you can release, and whatever feels right to you is what is right for you. So I'm just going to give you a few things that I use that I really enjoy, and partly because I'm a really vocal person, and partly because movement helps move this stuff out. But remember, when I say movement, I'm including things like yelling and crying in that. Emoting is a verb for a reason, because it is a movement. To emote is to move something. It's to move that feeling out of your body. So here's a really simple one, just to acknowledge what I'm feeling. I'm feeling angry. I feel sad. I feel everything at once, and it feels so bad. I feel angry. I feel sad. I feel everything at once, and it feels so bad. Basically, literally just that over and over again. You can do that anytime. I do that while I'm just walking down the street sometimes because I feel bad. Another one that I've used while I'm walking, this is great if you are like me and you tend to hold anger in your hands or in your jaw. And you'll know that because when you're stressed or when you're feeling angry about something, or when you're not acknowledging that you feel angry about something, you'll feel tension in your jaw, a tightness here. And especially for women, because we have been silenced, by threat of death, we've been silenced. So we often get very tight and tense in our jaws and in our throat chakras, because this is where we're not allowing stuff to move that we really need to move. So if we are people who have been silenced or people who have silenced themselves, then we can get really tight here. And so that's one of the reasons that I like to use, I use the term release your voice, because I'm talking about we have to allow ourselves to say the things that we need to say, even if they hurt other people. So this one, I use my hands, and this one is one that I really like when I'm walking, because I can kind of stomp. So I'm going to march in place. I'm so fucking angry at the world we live in. I'm so fucking angry at the world we live in. I'm so fucking angry at the world we live in. Just let it out. Just let it all out. I'm so fucking angry at the world we live in. I'm so fucking angry at the world we live in. I'm so fucking angry at the world we live in. Just let it out. Just let it all out. And you can see I'm like totally losing track of where I am. Not on center anymore, but yeah, just like moving your body and letting it go. And I like to do these because, this originally came to me when I was walking down the street and my hands were really cold. So I started doing this. But I'm a person who, when I'm angry, I'm like a harpy. I want to rip things to shreds with my nails and my teeth. So, so for me, moving it, I want to move the anger out of the place that I'm storing the anger in. So I'm actually storing the anger in my hands, and this helps me just throw it out of my hands. And then the saying it and the I'm so fucking angry, that's helping me move it out of here. Now, those are two really broad, you can use those just to say, I'm angry, to acknowledge that you're angry. This one gets a little bit more personalized, and really you have to make it yours, because it's so dependent on what needs to come out of you. So the stories that I heard, right, that were holding people back are the same stories most of us have. I have the same stories. The things that hold me back from living in a more joyful space, the stories that I tell myself they're all the same, right? We basically more or less have the same. Some of us will have something slightly different. I'm rolling up my sleeves because there's so many holes in them. And as usual, I'm like rolling them up to hide the holes, and then I tell you about it because that's how I roll. So this is a way to get out. So if you remember in the video that I talked about, like, this is how human beings learn. We need to move out the triggers. We need to see our stories, and we need to turn those stories back into feelings. We need to see the feelings behind the story. So this really works for being able to move from a story into a feeling. And then the golden thing about feeling feelings, you know, even the ones that are really uncomfortable, that's how we move those feelings back into praise. So like grief and praise are two sides of the same coin. Joy and sorrow, two sides of the same coin. So in allowing ourselves to meet ourselves with empathy, to acknowledge the things that hurt us, to acknowledge our feelings, you know, and to not care anymore what caused the feelings. There is no judgment on what caused the feelings. These are just the things that we're feeling. And we don't have any choice over what we're feeling. So we need to move that out. So I'm just going to use those stories, the stories I tell myself too, in order to move through them. So first, I just want to get into a really, like, just a good, powerful, I'll give you like a, whatever this view is called, you know, not quite side, but turned a little bit 90 degrees. My mother always said it was more flattering. Anyway, so you want to find like a powerful stance, grounding yourself, right? Earthing yourself with Mother Earth. For that, I like to just like breathe in and feel my body, starting with my feet, feeling how my feet are on the ground, and then my knees, you know, is my bum like sticking out or tucked? How do I feel in my body? Am I comfortable? Do I feel stable? When I feel kind of stable in my body, I can feel roots growing from my feet into Mother Earth. And as Mother Earth feels me grounding with her, the roots grow thicker. And I am powerful, and I am strong, and I am stable here because I'm alive, and she is still supporting me. So I have a purpose. And once I am grounded, I'm just going to let myself tell the story and just go from there. It's very organic, which is why I'm saying it's very a personalized thing, but it's also very powerful. And what I will do now, because what I do in groups is different from what I will do one-on-one. What I do in groups is I use repetition to create new neural pathways. So this is really powerful. Like some of you have seen me do this for boundaries and things like that, where I'm just like, no, 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 no. Because it is so important for us to practice reacting differently. But for now, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do like, here's my story, and I'm just going to let it go. Just let it go. I'm asking the earth to take back that which does not serve me so that I can have new skills that I also can use. I can use my old skills because I have them. They're still there. They're still very powerful. They're tools that I have. And I can also use the new skills that I'm learning now. So if I am just like, I can't do joy right now. I keep looking at the camera, so I may as well just turn back. I can't do joy right now. I can't. I'm too busy, and my children gave me, and the house is a mess, and I have no money, and I just don't know how to do this. I don't know how to live like this, and I'm feeling so overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm angry. I'm so angry because he doesn't help at all. He doesn't help with anything. In fact, he's more work than he is help. And I'm so angry at this stupid society that teaches us that we have to do everything alone, as if that makes any sense. Human beings didn't evolve that way. We didn't evolve to do everything alone. But here I am, living in this house by myself and having to clean the whole thing, having to clean up after my kids, and having to just cook a million meals. It's freaking 12, and they've already had 3 meals today, and there's 2 of them. How the am I supposed to find time for joy? Where's the joy in this? I'm angry that I have to do it all by myself. And I'm angry and I'm so sad that there's no time and I don't have more help because I want more help. I want a supportive community of women around me who all are going through the same thing and can help each other, because we're not supposed to do it alone. We're not supposed to do it alone. And I'm not going to do it alone because I have people I can call on, and I'm going to move and I'm going to find my own community. Anyway, so that's a demonstration. Just so you can see what I'm doing with my hands. This is power boxing. You're just like, moving everything out. Whatever the story is, we're going to move it out. And I wish that I could have given you a more authentic example. That wasn't super authentic because I'm actually super happy right now because I'm doing these videos and I'm doing this workshop and I'm connecting with people. So I'm really happy right now, and I don't feel like I have any sadness or anger that is calling me to pull out. But yeah, so that's an example of one more incredibly powerful release. And then, like I said, I'll include a PDF of releases for if these physical ones are too confronting, or you don't, or if there's still a belief that you can't like yell or that you can't say how you're feeling. Now, I think if you have that belief, it's super amazing to be aware of it. Awareness is like the biggest thing, right? And so that's what we're doing ultimately, is building awareness. Where do the thoughts come from? Because the thoughts are also coming from feelings and interpretations and our life experience. Yeah, I could go on forever. I'm not going to go on forever. I hope this has been very helpful. And please let me know which release you've chosen and how you're releasing your stories. And then let me know the outcome when you do it. Because in my experience, I can go from being incredibly angry and sad in a story to seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and receiving inspiration that I hadn't found before. So this is, for me, this is where I go from black and white into like, oh, look, the universe just opened up and showed me all the gray in between. Mwah! I love you. I'll see you in the next video.